Yo, we don't need one. We don't need one.
This is the far post where we kick it up all about all around town.
All right, all right, okay, all right. Anyway, I'm about to start. All right.
Episode one. So this is the monologue, the prequel.
Yeah. Wait, can you just do the Cam Chancellor?
I am the mighty. Damn it. I am Sir Cam, Chancellor of thy Legion of Boom.
All right, let's do this.
I was wilding this. It was too funny.
Yeah, that was too funny.
Chef
Oh,
Richard.
let's have a post game show. By the way, about that later. No, nothing. Never mind. Never mind. Anyway,
I mean, we could talk about the Super Bowl and the Braves,
yeah,
and
yeah,
in accordance of the how soccer culture is different from football American culture, where we have
yeah.
one big game and they don't really. They just have well, every game's a big game.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, you're listening to the Far Post podcast, the first episode of the Far Post podcast, where we will literally just be satisfying our thirst for arguing over Premier League football and I guess all football in Europe. Um, with me today, and probably most days, is Abdullah Hussein. Abdullah, have your
Hey
piece.
everyone, how you doing? For episode one, can't wait to get this thing started.
Okay. Seeing as it's already started,
I'm already off to a terrible start again.
yeah. Um. All right. So, I mean, since we're doing this in January, I guess it's only fitting that we
Dude,
talk
you're
about.
messing up too. It's not January, it's February.
Oh, it's February. I mean, well, the transfer deadline ended today, so we might as well start there. Um. I mean, I wasn't. I really wasn't that interested in it. I mean, but do you have any? I mean, I'm guessing you have some thoughts on it yourself because you were talking about it more than me.
I mean, I think not Newcastle, Hull City had signed a new striker. I mean, that was great for them. Supposedly we were supposed to sell out of Bayor to West Ham. They wanted him, but Levy said no, we're not going to sell him to West Ham. And pretty
Makes
much that was
sense.
the biggest move I saw. I mean, the biggest thing really just Chelsea shipping out Schürrle and bringing in Cuadrado. So that's like crazy.
Yeah,
The
that's
rich
the
are get
one.
rich. Yeah.
That's the one thing that got to me because when I woke up, I tweeted like I really can't be bothered by transfer deadline day, and then like I found myself like 5 minutes later getting really angry about the Cuadrado thing because the thing that gets to me is I don't understand how Chelsea keeps doing this. Like,
Did you see the tweet today?
what was it?
It was like Chelsea are so good at selling players, they could sell Santa sheep for $100 million.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Wow.
How the hell did they sell Andreas Schürrle for 37 million euros? That's the thing. That's the thing that gets to me. 37 million euros. That was basically the full price of the Cuadrado deal because I'm pretty sure that's 27 million pounds and Cuadrado how much was he? What,
It was
around
around the
that price,
same
right?
price. I
Exactly.
think
And
it's
then
cheaper.
not only that, not only that, but Mohamed Salah is going to Fiorentina, which um kind of is weird in itself because he didn't even get to play much. But anyway, the point is they keep making these big signings and funding it
They
like
keep
perfectly.
they're efficiently selling off their dead weight while bringing in key players. Like they shipped
It's
off Mata, brought in Fabregas.
it's
You know,
it's
they
it's almost to the
brought in.
point that I don't see. This is the thing. I don't know whether to say that Chelsea is just really good at making signings, or if they just have the weight to throw around because they could throw around all this money easily. Like on the one hand, you could criticize them because it's like you look at players like Kevin De Bruyne, Marco Moran, Schürrle, Salah, um, and other players I'm probably forgetting because they just buy so many players all the time. And it's like well, they got these big signings wrong. But then again, they're able to write they're able to write them off really well, like way better than I've ever seen any other club. They their losses aren't even really losses.
De Bruyne has been spectacular though. He pretty much beat Bayern last week.
But but
I'm a
but think about
but
but think
that's
about this.
yeah.
Think about this. They bought Lukaku for 17 million and sold him at a profit for 28 million pounds, and they never once they didn't. They basically never used him.
Yeah, he was never really in any big like the only big moment was when he missed the penalty kick against Bayern for the UEFA Cup, the Super Cup. You remember that?
I didn't even remember him playing in that.
You know, he had like the deciding penalty and he missed it, and that was like already they were like, yeah, Mourinho's like, look at him like, yep, you're on my you're on my bad list.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, well, that's basically the one thing from today. It's just I just don't understand how Chelsea keeps doing this. I mean,
I think I have an idea.
fair play to them, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's the fact that they had so much money at the beginning that they had an asset of players. So since they bought so many players at a high price, they were able to just. No, actually, I don't know where I'm going with because these players are supposed to depreciate in value, and they're not. They keep getting sold for like ridiculous prices. So try
They're
to
getting
lock
sold
them
at
down.
profits. They're getting sold at profits. Like Andre Schurrle wasn't playing at all. Well, wasn't playing that much, and he got sold for a profit because they bought him for 22 million pounds, I think it was, and they've sold him for 27, 28 million. Lukaku, that was a £10 profit. I mean, and didn't
David
it,
Luiz, we're forgetting David Luiz. How
and
that went out
that's what I
quick.
was just about to say. During the summer, they've basically funded all of their signings by selling David Luiz for 50
One of the
million.
biggest
I'm trying
fringe
to
players.
I'm trying to understand who at Chelsea is going to these clubs demanding these fees and actually coming back with success. It has to be the fact that they don't really quote unquote need the money.
I don't know. I
You
mean,
know what I'm saying?
who's the broker for these deals? Is it Marine? It has
You
to
know
be.
what? You know what? I've basically decided that I'm totally out of my league to be discussing this because we you basically need way more info about how they work, uh, how their front office works to even and the intricacies of that
Because
to
all
even
we know is Roman, and then
yeah
you have Mourinho, and then you have
yeah.
the staff.
So I mean, we're judging all on the surface, but I mean that's just one frustrating thing to just see them like go through these things with ease, while I watch Liverpool just make like literally the. I'm not even gonna go there.
They, I mean, on Twitter, you see all these Chelsea fans. They don't even mention anything about their front office, so they don't even know. They just keep going with the wind, like
Yeah,
go with the flow.
yeah.
They
I mean,
understand.
but to be fair, nobody knows much about the way their club operates, honestly, because there's really not any
Yeah,
transparency.
also, same thing about how Roman got his money. Supposedly he's part of the Russian mob, so that's
Yeah,
also
that's not yeah,
we're like
all right.
we're gonna
Now
find
you
out
want to
too
talk
much,
about
and then the
now
Russian
you want
mafia is
to
gonna come for us.
man, now you want to talk about Russian politics. I'll go besides that. But anyway, all right. So obviously on the pitch they drew it City on Saturday, and I mean, first of all, have City won without Yaya Toure yet?
I don't think so.
Like before before he went to AFCON, right? That's what it's called, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Before he went to African Cup of Nations, people were talking about how City do not have a great record without him at all, and lo and behold, they lost against Arsenal, which is insane. Which is yeah, it's
that
and
I was fuming. So I expected City to
yeah,
just win
yeah, because you
easily.
know what, Arsenal losing against City was probably like one of the if you're like a fan of United or basically any of the clubs that's fighting with Arsenal
For
for a top
Champions League
four spot,
spots. Yeah.
that is what that was supposed to be the one result that you could bank on, and um yeah, honestly
The funny thing is though, like the same time people are like, oh yeah, Yaya Toure didn't play and we're losing. But whenever Chelsea Man City loses a big game, they're like, oh, look at Yaya Toure. He's just running around. He doesn't care. He only like plays when he wants to.
I mean,
So
I think
it's not fair to Yaya, but I understand what you're saying. He's a very big,
no.
talented player.
I think people more say that when he plays in like a game against like Burnley, for instance, or
So
when he
he's only
plays
up for it
against like
when it's a big
yeah,
call.
exactly. When he's playing against lesser opposition that he, I mean, he's not at his best. I think that's the accusation. But I mean, regardless, they drew at Chelsea on Saturday, which isn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, 5 points could easily be. They could catch up from the 5 point
There's a
margin.
lot of time. 5 points is nothing.
Yeah. Without even talking about the game too much because the game was pretty much like it wasn't the best. Yeah, 5 points is not that much. I think the one thing I'd say and I'd worry about from Manchester City standpoint before we even get to Chelsea is that basically Chelsea could go about defending their 5 point lead in one of the most anticlimactic ways because they don't have to. Manchester City is basically their only rival for the title. You know, it's not like last year where it was like Liverpool, Chelsea, and City. They all played each other pretty much late in the season. You know,
Hmm.
like there's 15 games left, and they have the benefit of doing that without having to play City. Um, um, and City's big comebacks previously. I mean, the one thing that people keep bringing up is how they came back against Manchester United in 2012. I think they were out of the race by 8 points, and they recovered, but they had also had the benefit of playing United at home. You know,
It's weird because
um,
it's the way you have won the last two ships have really been like they snuck from behind or they
yeah,
just barely reached it. Like pretty much the big deciding game of last year's cup, League Cup, not League Cup, the Premier League was pretty much the Chelsea Liverpool game. That game was the pinnacle
yeah.
of like the whole title race, to be honest.
Well, you see, I mean, those are two of the teams like
There
essentially
again,
not.
Chelsea. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That like Chelsea and Liverpool were in a title race basically,
Yep.
and they played each other. Like there's basically, I think there's a lot that's in Chelsea's hands right now.
But here's my fact.
Um,
Here's
yeah,
my thing. I I think the way City can might sneak this again is due to the accumulation of matches and the fact that I think Chelsea is going to go farther in Champions League. Maybe they might even have a chance to win it all. I
yeah,
think there's a fact that Man City again might just get bounced out by Barcelona, and they're going to have I think they're already bounced out of the FA Cup and the Capital One Cup. So pretty much after they get bounced out by Barca, they're going to have a free range, just focus on the league, while Chelsea's going to have to try to juggle. I remember last year they were trying to juggle Atletico Madrid and pretty much Atletico Madrid bounced them.
yeah, yeah. Because yeah, and you know what's funny? They Chelsea can definitely do damage in Champions League because this is like such a Mourinho team. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Like the
Like
only
it's on the second
the
year in
only
charge.
the only thing I would say is that and I made this point preseason when I was on the um when I did the ESPN show preseason.
The fan
Uh
podcast version of it.
the fan podcast. That Matic and Cesc Fabregas in a 4-2-3-1 is not doesn't seem like a Mourinho central midfield pairing. And I mean it's worked out in the Barclays Premier League, but um it does not seem to me that that type of thing would work in Europe for him.
Where it's hard. Yeah,
Knowing the way that he approaches two-legged ties, like I'm just thinking about it right now. Um, I mean, you just looked at the way that he approached the Liverpool um semi League Cup semifinal, and it was pretty much standard Mourinho. Like he came well when you think about the away leg performance, he came to Anfield, Matic and Mikel. Fabregas did play actually. I mean, he subbed. He sat Oscar, but yeah, I guess looking forward, I'm just thinking that that's the one thing that takes away from me saying that that's the perfect Mourinho team. But nonetheless, they can do damage in Europe, and that's just going back to your point that I guess if Manchester City does come back into the race, that would be the way. Um, I mean, what do you think about Chelsea in Europe?
Um, I feel like I no, I do agree with you because really they've been quite kind of untested in Europe because they've had a really easy group schedule,
Hmm.
and they're up against PSG, and there's Matuidi there, there's Thiago Motta, there's Verratti, all those big guys, not all those key midfielders, and I feel like they're gonna give probably a Fabregas a little bit of run for his money, so he is gonna be tested. But then again, Matic has really been I think he kind of underdefined all the work that Matic has been doing. He pretty much has been um well with the added effect of Oscar running back and Willian helping out, them three doing a lot of defensive work has allowed Fabregas to have this free flowing role as like an offensive coordinator for the whole offense, pretty much pulling the strings like a Xabi Alonso. And I feel like that's the job that Fabregas is there to do. It's pretty much he kind of had a deep role with Arsenal, and then towards the end of his Arsenal career, he got a little he got more up front at the attacking midfield position.
Yeah, I'm
But I
pretty
feel
sure.
like he was always, for me, I felt like he was always going to be Xavi's successor, playing deep midfield passes, but he never got to do that at Barcelona, and I feel like he has a chance to just do this for Chelsea, which is weird because Mourinho is pretty much a
Okay.
hard-studded team.
Yeah. I mean, how Arsenal let him go back to Chelsea? I mean, go to Chelsea is kind of ridiculous. But so I'm looking at Chelsea's schedule right now, since we're basically talking about how that impacts the whole title race, and there's a little bit of a there's a little bit of a rocky schedule there. I can see. I don't know why I'm looking at because I'm looking at ESPN's fixture list for Chelsea, and they don't show the date of the second leg. Um, but so they have a run of games where there's Leicester next, away to Leicester next. I mean, they're pretty much gonna win that. No, not away to Leicester next. Okay, all right. Now I see what it actually is. All right, so they're away to Villa where they lost last year. Interestingly, they're not gonna lose there.
They
Um,
haven't scored a goal in ages.
then at home to Everton. Then PSG. I guess going a couple matches ahead of that, this is where I think it gets a little bit rocky in March, where they have Chelsea, then they have West Ham midweek away to West Ham at Upton Park, where they drew 0-0 last year, if I'm not mistaken. Then they face
PSG.
PSG. Yeah, PSG. Um, yeah, PSG the next week, and honestly,
It looks like a
it's
cakewalk, to be
yeah, no, no, no,
honest.
no. It's oh
Who
no,
did I
no, no.
see?
The Tottenham match, that's the Carling Cup final. Okay, so the Carling Cup final, then West Ham, then PSG, then they're at home to
Okay.
Southampton.
Yeah, now it looks more difficult. I think right when the Tottenham match starts, you have
Yeah,
West
yeah,
Ham
yeah. That's a
at
little.
home. That's rocky.
Yeah,
You got yeah. Then you got PSG. Then you have Southampton,
yeah.
and I don't know. Hull City. They might be in for a relegation fight by the 22nd. So Hull City might be tough. But the next two are like Leicester and Burnley. Those are relegation teams.
Mm. And then on the flip side, Manchester City's schedule is pretty much balanced where they have a lot of big games, but it's pretty much spread out. So they have, I mean, the one the one time that they're gonna face tough matches in succession is um Barcelona. They're gonna be hosting Barcelona, and then
And then you go to Liverpool.
yeah, they go to Liverpool. Um, okay, so yeah, and we already expect them to get bounced by Barcelona. So yeah.
I mean, it depends. There's another talk for Barcelona, Luis Enrique, and they have the South American trident over there. But I mean, they're having their problems. Maybe Man City goes on, and this will ruin the whole conversation. But pretty
No,
much, we're
well,
expecting.
I
And
will
maybe
say,
Wilfred Bonning's too much for the center backs. We don't know because those center backs are very vulnerable at Barcelona, and they're not used to that physical style of play at the
all right.
center
Well,
forward position.
I don't want to look too much ahead and start talking to about that tie just because like all
No,
the Premier League clubs that we have to get to. But I will just say this. First off, at some point, I mean,
you expect
the,
City
the,
to get out of it.
no. At some point, I'm just saying. At some point, the Neymar, Suarez, and Messi thing is gonna like
Work
all
or
click
just
at one point. I know that there's like there's been talk about that Luis Enrique doesn't really know what he's doing, but I mean,
for me, when I heard Suarez was going to Barcelona, I
yeah.
said they're going to need three balls.
Yeah.
But
I will say though, the last time I watched them, it wasn't too overwhelming. I mean, the overall point basically for me is that I really don't trust City in Europe.
and
They did though to their credit qualify by beating Bayern when they had 10 men. So
that was impressive. I agree.
that was impressive. That was the first time
You
you
know,
actually seen them actually produce a like actually show up in Europe. I
I think
feel.
it all hangs on Aguero's health, to be honest, and he's very his fitness is very shaky, and
Yeah.
I hate to see that in a player like with his talent.
Mm. All right. So yeah, that's the title race for you. Um. The top four race is looking like it's a real
It's looking
blockbuster.
like what it usually is.
Yeah, it's looking like it's a real blockbuster. It's looking like the top four race from 09 10 basically when Tottenham qualified.
Along with the Peter Crouch goal coming from
Yeah,
Crouch.
yeah. The Tottenham, City, Aston Villa, Liverpool top four race.
Yeah.
Um so we have Manchester United in third right now. Probably could we say one of the most fraudulent third place teams we've seen in a while at this point in the season?
Yeah,
Not fraudulent, but like just because that's a bit disrespectful. But just like, um, yeah, they don't seem that convincing.
the funny part, they don't seem that convincing at the third. That's my funny part. For me, I feel like they're a lot. To be honest, I pretty much,
You said they're a lock.
yeah, I think they're for me they're a lock. I've been
Okay.
drinking the Van Hal Kool-Aid for a while. I mean, I've seen what Di Maria can do. I see what Falcao can do. I mean, knowing what these guys can do, that's one thing. But then you see on the pitch, Falcao is just poaching goals. Di Maria is always injured. But I noticed, Van Persie has been in some type of form, so that Dutch connection is going on. Rooney is taking well to his captaincy, even though he got a red card a couple weeks back. I see them being greedy and edging out games. I feel like to be this far by edging out games, I believe if they had some quality, it's like they probably could be competing for the title. But then again, the fact that you're probably right. They've probably been lucky to get this far, and eventually they will get exposed, and we're going to see who they are. But I mean, do you think they're better than Arsenal?
Um,
Well, I think
well,
right
see,
now,
that's the interesting thing to me right now because I think Arsenal's getting to that point where they're just not playing around anymore.
no, I'll be right. I think they are playing better. Arsenal and Southampton are playing better football than Man United. I can admit that, but I think Man United's talent is just it's just getting them by. To be honest,
And also, there's the thing that I mean, how much time do you want to give them? You know what I'm saying? No,
hmm
and I'm speaking in terms of like their competitors. So like Tottenham, Arsenal, Liverpool. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Like they've basically Manchester United has endured a terrible start, and then a bit of shakiness, I guess, around December. You would say
yeah. Oh, I think they changed. Yeah, yeah.
after Liverpool, basically after Liverpool, there was a bit of a shakiness. I mean, how many? They're only going to have but so many bad stretches.
I
Um,
do see them beating Arsenal again because that always seems to happen. So that's a
um,
6 pointer right there. They already beat. I think they already went against Southampton and won. Or no, I
yeah,
think
no, I mean
no, they tied.
they split those fixtures.
Yeah, they split. I think they
Um,
won that game.
yeah, I mean, it feels like they're gonna get a top four spot by default because they just bought enough. It seems like.
They really bought, and I think they're gonna try to buy again with Aymeric Laporte, I guess, and
Yeah.
almost and whatever. But just if you think preseason, you're like, oh, you have Falcao, Di Maria, that's kind of crazy. Like,
I mean, but then again, Falcao hasn't even.
no, I'm saying then again, you look at now like the face value, they're like, wait, what? They're not who they are.
Hmm.
They might be. And there's another thing. Falcao has the funniest stat. His stat is ducking Champions League. The last like four squads or three teams has been they qualify for Champions League and he just leaves that team.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like, tell me, have
Yeah,
you ever
that's
seen
the
Falcao in the
that's
Champions League?
yeah. Because Porto, Atletico, yeah. I mean, he's making money, honestly. That's the one thing I, it's as simple as that. He's made a crazy amount of money, and the other thing is that wherever he's gone, he's won trophies.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like he was there, he was there for the first win for Atletico against Real Madrid in like however many years that was, right? When they won the
mhm.
Copa del Rey
That
at,
was
at the
an
Bernabeu.
enticing
Yeah,
match. Yeah.
exactly. He was there. That was him. He had that, that that the big performance in the Europa League for Porto, the big performance in the Super Cup versus Chelsea with Atletico Madrid. Um, won the Europa League again with Atletico. Obviously, that's why they were in the Super Cup. But yeah, I mean, he wins trophies, he gets money.
Yeah. There's also it's pretty much the Falcao lifestyle.
Yeah,
There's also
yeah,
I think one big thing we're forgetting how Man U's getting this for. It's pretty much David De Gea has been a big shot
yeah,
stopper.
yeah,
He really has been a big save Dave if they
yeah.
whoever calls him that.
And it kind
He's
of
really
puts into context just how ridiculous um uh we can act towards, well, not we, because I don't
you
think I
know
ever I don't think I ever had any fears over him as like a prospect when he first came to England.
yeah
I
I
think
yeah
I think people were too quick to like
the first
it's almost like he ran into trouble by self-fulfilling prophecy. Like first, before he even replaced Van der Sar, people were saying that it was too big of a job for him to fill, which fair enough. Van der Sar was like he was big ever since he came to United from Fulham.
yeah
um uh and but then after that they're like well, I mean, he's come from Spain, where they don't test keepers aerially, so he's going to have trouble with that. And yeah, he's a young kid, he's skinny, he's this and that. um uh, and then Lindegaard, everybody was making a lot about that, where
yeah Lindegaard used
he
to
was,
play some matches over him.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But now it seems funny.
Sir Alex kept benching him in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just seems like yeah, fair enough. I mean, he was skinny and it was a new league, but
But the talent was always there.
I feel as though peep I feel as though the pressure was created by all those things becoming a topic before the problems manifested themselves. If you know what I mean. To the point that
It's,
maybe he even became conscious of those deficiencies or those things not working in his favor before they even started to tangibly work against him. If you know what I mean, like
yeah, I
uh,
understand what you're saying.
the problem was there before it was even a problem. That's what it feels like. But anyway, he's good now. He's great, honestly.
I
I
just want
mean,
to say, you're having a good season when you're having a link to Real Madrid.
yeah,
When Raheem Sterling was in form, you heard the Real Madrid links, and
yeah.
now it's nonstop Real Madrid links with David De Gea.
He,
I don't know. I don't think we signed a contract, so pretty much he might go down to the wire and let his contract run out, then go to Madrid. But I feel like if you really want to make the Premier League see premiere, he should stay in England, stay in Manchester United. It's one of the biggest football clubs in the world.
I
Why
mean,
would he leave? But then again, Ronaldo just left, so
the first thing I would question is I mean, I can't remember because I can't uh I totally forget, but is De Gea one of those kids like Torres who just like came up through Atletico system?
I'm not
And
sure. I don't.
because if that's
Well,
the case, then what's the point? What's the point of all this speculation? You would assume that he would not go to Real Madrid.
I heard like people like to bring up the fact that he's He misses home. They always do that. Oh, the player leaves his country. He misses home. He's a little homesick. He'll be more comfortable if he lived in Madrid. He'll be more of a bigger star. But I feel like you don't want to live in Iker Casillas' shadow. Then again, there's always going to be a Spanish keeper. But what happened to Keylor Navas? Like, why are we doing all of this?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Real Madrid transfer politics.
Yeah, but yeah,
I
that's
don't want
pretty
to
much
talk
the,
about
the,
that.
the hate factor. And Man
Yeah,
United getting the score, that's pretty much what it's all about.
yeah. Um, yeah. I think I actually need to start watching more of them down the stretch, honestly, because they got 43 points. I
I
mean,
just thought the same thing. I was like, I do need. No, you're right because like I just see them like they always edge out these goals, and I'm like, I watched them
yeah,
play Southampton, and that was pretty much a grueling match for them. It was both games were pretty decent,
yeah.
but
I mean, I don't know who.
I don't know what Van Gaal is being a mad scientist really because the lineups he's putting out, they all look experimental to prove a point that his system will work no matter what. Or like I don't even feel like he's always playing. Now you have like three left backs with Blind,
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah,
Rojo, and
that's the one. That's the one thing about
Luke Shaw hasn't been impactful at all. I just want to be
No.
honest.
See, yeah, that's the one sneaky crazy thing about United is that they're doing this and like most of their transfers haven't even worked out because I mean, Ander Herrera is not even he's not even like
And he's supposed to be picking passes out in the
yeah,
midfield. He's supposed to be
he's not the apple of Van Haal's eye right now, let's just say. And Rojo was a bad signing. Luke Shaw, I mean,
I didn't understand how
we pretty much accepted that he was worth 30 million, but
he doesn't look like
it
it.
doesn't look like it right now. But then again, he has basically 10 years to vindicate the price. So
It's very, very
I
good.
mean, yeah, I mean, but yeah, Rojo was the worst of the bunch to me, honestly. But anyway, whatever. They have 43 points. They're third. And yeah, I mean, they're still looking good, honestly. They're still looking good because the teams that are chasing them have their own issues. And I mean, obviously, I can't talk about the teams chasing them without getting into Liverpool.
And I think
Uh,
they're out of all cups, so pretty much they're gonna have that focus like Liverpool had.
they have the replay with Cambridge,
Uh,
so
I feel like they Cambridge won that game because after they celebrated so crazy.
yeah. I mean, they're basically in a Liverpool situation like last year where they don't have any. They while every other team is going to be playing in Europe, and the other thing, okay, City, Arsenal, and Chelsea are going to be playing in Europe and obviously taking it seriously because everybody takes the Champions League seriously. Um, and Tottenham and Liverpool are going to be in Europe too, and they have to take the Europa League seriously because it's the type of safety net situation where if neither of those clubs finish top four, they can they
It,
they have to go for
it's
the Europa
fruit
League.
bearing, that's pretty much that.
Yeah.
There's a
The
worthwhile
Europa
prize.
League, yeah, exactly. The Europa League will obviously be the only way that they could get the Champions League, and both of those clubs you would think have a good chance of getting there. Although I will say Tottenham versus Fiorentina. I mean, Jesus.
I mean, I was gonna face Cuadrado one way. I was, and I guess I'm gonna see Salah.
Yeah. I mean, good luck with him dealing with him in the final. By the way, Cuadrado. Can I just? We didn't even talk about him as a player. He's amazing.
Yeah, some people are talking about. I watch ESPN FC and they're talking about. None of them are fond of Cuadrado. I found that kind of weird because I
I
feel like before he was a fullback. He was a left back or right back, and he did that job, and then he came up more and started playing more winger. So he has that that acumen to play a defensive position and work and have a high work rate and have that pace to be that Mourinho player to go back and defend. But pretty much I think the knock on him was supposedly he's not tactically aware, like that his focus can be lacking. But in terms of pure talent, he's pretty much. I mean, he was linked to Barcelona in the summer, linked to Man United in the summer. He was
well,
linked to all these big clubs for a reason. Like, he had it last year. He had a streak where he just kept scoring. a cracker and another cracker and another cracker. He just couldn't stop scoring those type of goals.
Well, the obvious thing that stands out to me is the fact that he transitions. He helps the play transition so quickly. Like it's almost perfect the way he plays with Colombia, and I mean his recent performance with Fiorentina versus Roma. He basically showed it again where he can help switch play very quickly.
And that's what Mourinho wants.
Yeah, exactly, especially in Europe. I'm not sure if he's. No, he played in the Europa League with Fiorentina probably, so that shouldn't cause any problem because Fernando Torres played in the Europa League, then played in the Champions League for
You
Chelsea.
talking about cup ties?
Yeah.
He's gonna play in Champions League.
Yeah. So I mean
Which gets an even better signing.
Yeah, it's a great signing, and honestly, Andre Schürrle, I like him as a player.
He scores good.
Yeah. He scores good goals. I think it's fair to say that Corrado is more of a fit to Mourinho. Yeah.
And it could potentially be an upgrade over Willian, talent-wise. I like Willian, the fact that he does more of the gritty work. And
I didn't expect
stable player.
And you know what? I didn't even expect Willian to be that much of a worker when he came.
Yeah, you expect to be more flair type of player.
Yeah. So Chelsea's looking good.
That's what I expected when he was having our medical.
Yeah. Thank God he didn't go to Tottenham, honestly. No, actually, you know what? Do you hate Chelsea, by the way?
Yes, because I could have had Eden Hazard, technically.
Yeah, you could have had Eden Hazard. You could have had a Champions League.
Could have kept Bale. Could have kept Modric.
Yeah, you could have. Yeah, all of that. Yeah, Chelsea basically destroyed your club's existence.
Could have had Redknapp again and then get sacked probably for Carlo Ancelotti. Because Ancelotti had a free reign at one point.
And on a sneaky level, Chelsea letting AVB go directly led to AVB going to Tottenham.
It made everything worse. Chelsea is being part of the position.
Yeah, you might want to consider Arsenal being your biggest rival right now because I think. Chelsea. I think it's fair to say Chelsea.
I can't give up on them. They're gone. Chelsea's like a flying meteorite. They're just way past my side of vision right now.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's a legitimate case that they destroyed a very real possibility that Tottenham could be a top, that one little level above where they are for the next 10 years. Like
exactly, and this
Hazard is an era-changing player, and so is Gareth Bale, and so is Modric, and getting Champions League for the second time in 3 years would have been an era-changing. I think
I was salty, to be honest. I was sick to my stomach. I still remember the goals that Fulham gave in because we could have been third. Instead we were fourth. And like Andre Santos scored on West Brom, and I couldn't believe it. But then again, this is what makes the Capital One Cup final so exciting. Is it gives me that chance, a London Cup final, to get some revenge against Chelsea. I mean, I put 5 past them already. Like that was good, but I want this cup final. This cup final is going to be so, this Capital One Cup is going to be so important for it.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, honestly. Obviously, I wasn't happy with the way Liverpool lost against Chelsea, but first off, that was an amazing 2-legged tie. And when it goes down to the wire like that, I mean, you take them to 120 minutes at Stamford Bridge. I mean, there's not really that much complaints to have. At that point, you're just, I mean, as a football fan, you know.
To be honest, there were instances where you guys did generally outplay them. I think the second half of the first leg, you guys were magnificent, and definitely could have scored, nick another goal in. I was kind of upset about that.
Yeah, I was pleased with the way that. Yeah, we went. Liverpool went toe to toe with Chelsea. One thing I will say is that more so in the first leg than the second leg. Is that Mourinho did have a point where it's like Liverpool quote unquote dominated the first leg. Probably should have won 2-1, but Chelsea did kind of execute like what I said, what the typical Mourinho first leg thing is, first leg away from home thing is, which is to get first of all to get an away goal. And I know away goals don't really matter, and
It
in
matters to all.
it matters in the sense that you're just getting something away from home more
Yeah.
than the fact that it's like a tiebreaker or whatever. Um, but he got the goal. He got the early goal, and then there were plenty of spaces for them to counterattack. They just didn't pull it off right. So, um, I think uh, I guess what I'm saying is that Chelsea was Chelsea contained us just enough, which is what
They
Mourinho tries
sent
to
out
do
their
anyway.
ace lineup the second. Like,
Yeah, I mean
all
it
their
was
pick for the job.
all around it was a good spectacle. I mean, but that's it's in the past now. This London, I mean, two London clubs at Wembley, that'll be fun. That'll be fun to watch, and I really hope I'm hoping it's more like the Liverpool.
Chelsea.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you want it to be open. That was open and fun and back and forth, and then it had
Carroll
then
had a
that
chance.
cynicism, and then because Chelsea versus City, that had a bit of a cynicism and in the way that Chelsea approached it. I guess second half, kind of. Um,
I, I pretty much like almost fell
yeah,
asleep second half because I knew it was coming.
yeah.
I was like,
Um, all right, but yeah, since we're on the subject already, I mean, let's talk about Tottenham.
uh,
Um,
you could start. I mean, I could talk about Tottenham all day. Just glad
yeah,
we were
I
here.
mean, well, I mean, this is my chance to, you know, just be happy about the fact that I was really had a pleasant experience when I went to go see them live when I went to White Hart Lane when they played Sunderland. Um,
You saw a game time winner, pretty much.
yeah,
You saw the scenes.
yeah, I saw the scenes. um, yeah, Tottenham is really getting good at these 2-1 wins.
Yeah, I think we have like the most points from winning in the last 10 minutes. And
Oh, one thing I guess we could say is that Christian Eriksen. I mean, what a player and what a
but
signing at
let
the
me
price
just
that you guys
before
got
you bring
him.
up Eric, I just want to bring up the fact that I think we're edging out these late game wins. It's pretty much the fact that Pochettino has us doing double fitness sessions, and I think what happens is we're getting these late goals because we out tire our opponents, and we still have a little, a little a second win to go, and boom, we can always edge another goal out through the fitness. But yeah, the emergence of Christian Eriksen, we can go on.
Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not the first person that said that. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm just fascinated by Erickson because for some reason, towards the end of his stay at Ajax, people were talking about how he's
He wasn't
overrated
fit for
and
Dortmund.
yeah, he was overrated. He wasn't not only fit for Dortmund, but not fit for a big club, and
He
you
actually turned
know
Man City down, to be honest. To be fair,
he turned Man City down. Like,
because
is
he knew
this
he
a
wasn't gonna
fact?
get playing time.
Oh, okay, that's nice. That's smart on his part, actually. Um,
That's what when
yeah,
a player
and
actually wants to be featured.
no, and you look at him in this whole Gareth Bale spending spree, which
I
I
mean,
mean,
for now it looks like take what you want.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you're gonna
He's like the only success. He's like
you're
the only.
starting to understand my feeling after looking at your window, but
Oh,
because
I mean,
we're the
Liverpool's window.
same thing with Lamella and what you will call it, and you're Serbian,
Markovic.
Markovic. Yeah.
Oh, I actually have high hopes for Markovic.
No, I do look. Well, right now it's not looking good for Lamella, but that's what I had for Lamella last season.
um, well, here's the
But let's get
thing.
back to Tottenham. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Yeah, one at a time.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Ericsson's
mean,
been
yeah.
he's
Go
been
ahead. I mean, this
overlooked.
this is your time to shine. Basically, it's your club.
I pretty much his. I'm starting to think he's a better free kick taker than Gareth Bale. The past like
Erickson. Erickson.
yeah, he scored last year. He scored a good amount of like I think almost a handful of free kicks, spot kicks last year. Those free kicks last year, and then again he just recently has two back to back, and he had like I think two prior, and he's a very good free kick taker, and he's actually a very his finishing. I don't want to say it kind of reminds you of Frank Lampard or Steven Gerrard in a way. The way he's able to have that type of touch on the ball where he slots it in.
That's more Frank Lampard.
Yeah, I think that is good. Yeah, it's more Frank Lampard.
That's a good point.
He gets 20 goals a season. Yeah, but I feel like it's more Lampard type of style. So he has that in him. So I basically feel like he's a Danish Frank Lampard.
Mm-hmm.
When he's able to pick plays and with Pochettino, he's able to learn how to do the dirty work, and he's really becoming a talisman for us. And it was there last year under Tim Sherwood. He was obviously our best player last year. Besides Adebayor.
Okay, so
and there's not only Ericsson to talk about. There's another guy.
Oh, Harry Kane?
Yeah, the Hurricane.
Oh yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah, Academy product. And this is why I wish we recorded earlier, because I have another. I actually had a feeling that Harry Kane was gonna not do this good, but he was gonna contribute a good amount of this season. Because the fact that Soldado was.
Why'd you have that feeling? Just because Soldado sucks?
No. It's well thought out. Yeah, Soldado was shaky, and Adebayor, he only plays when pretty much he wants to play. But what really makes this interesting about Harry Kane is you add the fact that he's a very determined, has a full stamina type of striker. He gives it all. He's a club player. But what made it interesting is actually last year, Pochettino had tried to sign Harry Kane. He was very eager to get Harry Kane in his squad last year for a Southern bid.
Okay.
But now in Tottenham, he has his player, and he's given Harry Kane a good chance to make a name for himself, and pretty much did it when he scored that hell of a free kick against Aston Villa near extra time. Extra time.
Ah, that's interesting.
So pretty much Pochettino was interested in Harry Kane from the beginning, and preseason people were trying to talk Harry Kane might have a big role this year, and pretty much we're seeing the fruits of his labor. And his high energy, and pretty much his finishing. His finishing has been like his recent goal against West Brom was. I don't know if you saw it, but it was very, very superb. And his heading and
I'm pretty sure I saw it today actually, and have immediately
volleyed it to himself.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I remember. I know he scored a penalty, right, as well.
Oh yeah, he scored it and he embraced it.
Yeah, I definitely forgot it, but
yeah, his positioning, he holds up, play well. He has some type of technique, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that really sounds like
good hard-nosed worker. Yeah, and
sounds like good stuff. I like him. How old is he, by the way? Is he 21, 22, 23?
Yeah, only 21. So that's
21. He just got a new contract.
2020.
Yeah, that's really good to see. I mean, honestly, I like when there's a bit of. I like when things happen in the Premier League that just like makes it seem.
You like the storybook.
Well, no. I like things being normal, because this is what sports is pretty much supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to, somewhere along the line, you are supposed to produce your own talents. Like, you're not just supposed to just be like just wasting money and buying more and more players, and then it's like, oh well, as long as half of the players come off, we'll be fine. Like, I mean, just think about the amount of money that like Liverpool and Tottenham and who else wastes money, or are our clubs the only ones that waste money?
Well, Chelsea is the definition of that.
Yeah, I mean, well,
there's a fight of their Well,
the thing is about Chelsea actually gets players where it's like very, very rare.
Actually, Chelsea has a sub team called Vitesse, and
oh yeah,
yeah, they have a D League team.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Point is, I like Harry Kane. I'm tired of. I think a lot of clubs overbuy anyway, and I think Harry Kane is the type of player that, like, just as a fan of Tottenham, I would imagine that you just enjoy the game better just because of his existence and his emergence.
He's a marvel.
Yeah. All right. Let's
work up toward things. We loaned out Lennon to Everton.
Right. Is he pretty much done? Is he pretty much done? Like,
I mean, I thought he was okay. I guess Pochettino didn't like him, but we loaned him out to Everton, so that's pretty much, I guess, with an option to buy. So he might be done.
How do you think he will do at Everton, by the way?
I think he's going to contribute. That's the part that I don't like.
See, the one thing is
Because of Morales. I think he's going to overcome Morales. Even though Morales is pretty good. Hopefully they forgive him.
I don't know why I have the feeling that under Moyes I would trust Aaron Lennon under Moyes more than I trust him under Martinez.
Yeah. Martinez, I feel like he does well with his wingers. I mean, you look at
Morales?
No, the guy, not Leon Osman. I always mix up the names.
Naismith?
Yes, Stephen Naismith. I always mix up the names. Yeah, Stephen Naismith.
Yo, Naismith is probably the smartest player in the Premier League.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what? It's different. He's much smarter.
Yeah.
But, okay, I just want to add the fact that
go ahead.
all right. So I'm going to finish off Tottenham. We just signed this guy called Del Ali from MK Dons.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of fun because MK Dons might be our stadium in the next couple of years during we're rebuilding.
Is he 19 years old?
I think he's 18.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's pretty talented. He looks pretty talented. Even though League One squad, but then again, this League One squad beat Manchester United in the FA Cup. So
true.
That's fun, but I like the fact that we're buying young players and we have Pochettino with pretty much at Southampton. He showed that he's able to upbring these young players, and he's doing it with Ryan Mason. And you see Harry Kane, you see Townsend. So and we have Eric Dyer. So I feel like you talk about how you like to see club develop their talent. I feel like that's why I think Daniel Levy might actually just stay with Pochettino and say, I have someone who can save me some money while developing our own talent, rather than just spend 26 million on Lamela and him being a bust, or spending money on a striker like Solana. So, because when you have those big signings, it's a very big area for risk.
So what actually, I was about to ask you a question, but let me get to this first thing first.
Mm-hmm.
So you're basically at the biggest stretch of your season.
Yeah, we played the most games already.
Yeah, so first off, your next two games, it's not the be all end all, because the season is a long season and we always forget how many twists and turns it could take. But next is Arsenal and Liverpool, and those are basically your direct rivals for that fourth spot. So it's well, let me read the fixture to you. I think the next 8, it's home to Arsenal, away to Liverpool, home to Fiorentina.
Oh God.
Home to Fiorentina, home to West Ham. Oh, by the way, West Ham, yeah, not so scary anymore. When all of a sudden they had to play with Andy Carroll and Kevin Nolan and whatever. That's another topic.
I got a rivalry with West Ham. They give me trouble. So
yes. So Arsenal, Liverpool, Fiorentina, West Ham. Then away to Fiorentina. Then against Chelsea. Then Chelsea at Wembley. Then home to Swansea midweek after that Carling Cup. Then going to Loftus Road.
Really Tottenham Gauntlet. That's what it is.
Then away to Loftus Road. Then away to Old Trafford. Yeah, so here we go.
But then after that, Leicester and Burnley. Don't want to forget that.
No. Yeah, Leicester, Burnley, Aston Villa. So
we gotta get all those points back.
So
but the Arsenal's.
Yeah, so basically, you're at the biggest point of your season.
You're right. We are.
Arsenal is coming up this Saturday. You have Liverpool midweek, which is just a brutal schedule. I mean,
dude,
because Liverpool has to do the same thing. They have the derby against Everton, and then
you're right. All these upcoming games are big time games. I mean, even West Ham, because Tottenham West Ham, it was the first game of the season. West Ham's always a big game. You had that big Gareth Bale goal. Then we have
that was amazing. Yeah, that was amazing.
Our top 4 rivals. Then you got to go to Wembley and play Chelsea. This is gonna be a gauntlet.
I mean, but it's also exciting.
It's exciting, but at the same time, after this, your season's pretty much done. So you're basically telling me my season might be done by March 1st. That's pretty much what we're going by.
Well, see, this is so interesting because you basically have your chances at top 4 on the line in the next 2 matches. Then you have your chances of getting into the Champions League via winning the Europa League on the line against a very credible team in Fiorentina.
And then we have our chance of getting back to the Europa League again, hopefully, if we beat Chelsea.
Oh yeah. Then you have your chance at getting your
Because we could
first
get
trophy since
6.
2008 against Chelsea.
Pretty
Jesus
much.
Christ.
I,
Yo,
I,
2008 was 7 years ago.
I know. I
By the way.
feel I was in
Yeah,
high
it's
school. Yeah.
kind of crazy. But
Okay.
yeah. Basically, the next 6 games make or break.
I mean, which one do I want to lose? I mean, I guess
You could take the loss against West Ham.
no. No. We have to be West Ham. What? I was West Ham from again? No.
Because Arsenal, and Liverpool are
No,
6 points.
can't. No, we can't
Listen,
lose. No, we can't lose to
Arsenal,
home at West Ham. That'll be bad.
yeah,
No, we
but
can't do it. No, we can't. We can't because they're like
okay.
they're one of our
9 days,
big rivals.
and then 9 days later, you're playing Chelsea at Wembley, and if you win that, who cares?
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, the goal is to win all of these.
You know what I want? I figured I want draws and Tottenham. I want draws. Arsenal.
Really?
I'll take draws. If I could get 2 draws rather than 1 win and 1 loss, I'd rather have draws.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. This season's about to get it's about to get fun.
Is Sanchez still? I mean, this is pretty much where I'm gonna because the North London Derby's coming up. This gives us a segue to Arsenal. Pretty much, you're going to have that matchup of Tottenham and Harry Kane and Eriksen being the big big emergence. But the thing is, the sad part is, one of our pivotal midfielders from the academy is Nabil Bentaleb, and pretty much he's at AFCON for Algeria, and we have big London.
I mean, well, they just got beat by Ivory Coast.
Okay, so hopefully he comes back.
Yeah,
I thought they were going to win.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he'll make it in time, but yeah.
I mean, okay, so he'll be back in for the Liverpool match, hopefully.
Oh, damn! Thanks.
So that's good news at least. So I guess, okay, I'm gonna give you my key to the game for the Tottenham Arsenal match from a Tottenham point of view. It's pretty much gonna rely on if.
Wait. Do you want to just talk about this on Thursday?
I mean, if we're coming back to it on Thursday, I mean, if we can get an Arsenal guest, that would be good.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll have an Arsenal guest, a special guest.
Okay, so pretty much we'll just segue to Arsenal.
Yeah.
So no keys to the game, people. Come back for episode 2.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. We'll get to that Thursday. I mean, we could skip Arsenal altogether too, because we're gonna let our friend Kevin talk about that.
I'm just gonna say this.
What's up?
Christian Eriksen is already looking like a better signing than Mesut Ozil, and that's good for Pompous because Ozil's.
I agree, and I would also like to say that Mesut Ozil signing for Arsenal, I never was too hot on that anyway. Because first off, I don't like any signing over 30 million. Period.
And you know what? I'm agreeing with you.
I don't like any because if you sign a player over 30 million, it already seems like a reach already.
And if you think about it, Hazard got signed for 32.
Hazard, name the last player that got signed over 30 million, and it's like it felt that they've been worth the money. Like Hazard is one.
I mean, right now, for me it was Di Maria, but
60 million pounds for Di Maria. By the way,
I mean, he ran that whole Madrid team last year. Or maybe that was just the factor of him being in Madrid. Now they zone in on him.
I mean,
he hasn't been proven yet, so it's not a guarantee. He's not bona fide right now. Cavani looks ridiculous for 60 mil right now, even though he's playing out of position.
Yeah. I mean, to me,
Zlatan.
Zlatan. I mean, to me,
when you sold 40 mil twice.
To me, when you buy a player over 30 million, you're having them try to live up to a standard that they can't live up to, which is like, look at even Suarez, like for 80 mil. That doesn't look like good value, honestly, right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
I feel crazy because Suarez looked so good last year.
Yeah.
And you said, come on, man, it's La Liga.
Well, you know what does?
Times have changed.
The sneaky aspect in all of this is that before Rodgers got to Liverpool, Suarez wasn't scoring at that great of a rate in the league.
So
I'm pretty sure. The last season.
Is this our Liverpool segue?
Yeah, of course it is. so, so the last season that Kenny Dalglish was there, he scored 17 and 39. I'm pretty sure he scored 17 goals in 39 games in all competitions.
Yeah,
And then
he was
and
more
then
of a creator. Yeah.
and then under Rodgers in a team that finished seventh, he scored 30 and 45. And then the next year, he just went off. Like he scored like 31 and 33 or 35. All of this without penalties, by the way, which always made me respect him even more. But something to
I
think
have
about.
a I had a quick question I wanted to ask you. I never got to. Um, I, I feel like what do you agree with me if I said this whole transfer rumor started once Luis Suarez had bit Chiellini in the World Cup?
Um,
Like I think if that didn't happen, he would have stayed at Liverpool.
yes,
Because
yeah,
I felt like as soon as that happened, the English press just went. They just attacked him to the full. It was a artillery. Just it was too much,
yeah,
and it was like to the fact like okay, it's over. Like Liverpool, how they're gonna discipline one of their best players like that?
yeah. Um,
To the fact that FIFA disciplined them, but I like what like because we never really got to talk about like it's so vague. Like okay, he bites someone, and then he moves to Barcelona. Like how does that work? How does that come to fruition?
uh,
Because all I'm saying, I know he was comfortable in Liverpool. You guys are gonna come up, and Suarez is gonna be a big time player again. I know there was rumors, but the rumors were very like Tim.
well, first of all, if I'm not mistaken, a few weeks before that, there was rumors that he was going to Real Madrid.
Exactly. So you know,
Honestly, the whole first Real Madrid and Barcelona as a whole just annoy me. Honestly, like just go away. Honestly,
I'm
like
starting to agree with it because
they 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 they
it
they
takes
suck.
away the beauty of football.
Yeah, they suck the fun out of football. Honestly, like even Bayern Munich, it doesn't feel like this. And honestly, Bayern Munich kind of it feels like a buzzkill too because like literally anybody that challenges them in Germany, they just take their best player. It
I feel like
seems like obviously that's not the
for me, I'll be
case and
honest.
that's
For me, whenever a
hyperbole, but
player,
you
yeah,
know,
for me, whenever a player goes to those clubs, I feel like I stop paying interest to that player. Like okay, that player like dissipates. Like remember this guy called Robert Lewandowski? Look how great he
yeah,
was. I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
even think about it.
I mean, honestly, Mario Götze too.
Goats was big because he scored that winning World Cup goal. That's it. But those guys, when like Tony Cruz is in Real Madrid, I guess.
But see, how does that happen for 25 million? By the way, that's another. I don't want to go on a tangent. Anyway, yeah, I mean the Suarez thing. Yeah, that was just weird. I honestly don't have any explanation for it. That was weird. I will say that most people thought it was a foregone conclusion that after the whole Arsenal thing that he was going to get sold a year later. Um,
I figured it out. I know the logic.
what's up?
Why you got because it's two clubs that have a lot of money already, and it's like pretty much it's like just take them away. It, I feel like whatever they paid for him, it didn't matter. You understand what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
Like him being from Bayern Munich has so much money in the beginning. They have been buying players left and right, and Madrid just has so much money in the beginning. And I understand there's financial fair play, but I felt
Oh, you're
like
talking about Cruz.
Cruz. Yeah, I'm talking about Cruz. I'm talking about like how Bayern and Real did business. And since it's two big clubs, they pretty much and they have big backings. The fact that one player goes to the other, I feel like I understand 25 mil, but when you talk about a young club like how Ozil went from Schalke to Real Madrid for 16, that was robbery. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying?
that was stupid.
Like I
No,
feel
no,
like
Ozil from Werder Bremen.
or was it Leverkusen? No, it's
Werder
Werder
Bremen.
Bremen.
Yeah.
Okay, that was I don't know. But you understand what I'm saying? I think when it's two big clubs for 25, I mean, how is okay? I'm gonna define this. How is Bayern gonna really benefit for selling Cruz for more than what he is for Real Madrid? They're not gonna really benefit for selling him more.
Because they already have money, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Just so I follow. Yeah,
Yeah, and
I
it
mean,
sounds cute because everyone thinks that more money is good.
at the end of the day, screw both of them. All right,
Yeah,
so back to Liverpool. So yeah, since we're talking about Suarez, I guess the whole uh, the whole narrative of this season is how Liverpool been doing without him. Obviously, the signings weren't the best. Well, no. The plan to recover from losing him wasn't the best.
Yeah, because you got to get the goals back,
Yes.
and I guess they thought Balotelli would bring stuff back.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I guess it's clear now that that
The
was just a
Lambert
panic.
signing, I don't care because he's a backup striker.
See, that's the thing. The Lambert signing looks bad because of how bad the follow-ups were. Like
Exactly, but
Lambert, honestly, at 4 million, my reaction to Lambert getting signed at 4 million was literally like, well, yeah, this is gonna be pretty. That it was like literally just for my entertainment.
and
That's
pretty
what it
much
felt
people were saying you guys need a third striker behind SAS. They're like, yeah, we
like.
need another one, like someone to
That
post up.
that and the fact that it was like, all right, I mean, somebody to throw into some of the Carling Cup games that we don't really care about, some of the FA Cup matches that we don't really care about, the garbage time in Europe. When you're away and you need Sturridge to play 60
I
instead
think,
of 90,
yeah,
like stuff like that, and also the whole fact that he was a Liverpool fan when he was young. I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty nice, and it's 4 million. Like really, who cares? It's really only the fact that Liverpool didn't do a great job of the signings after that, which which taints, I guess, how we look at the Lambert signing.
I think to me, I guess it all went downhill when Sanchez was like, I don't want to live in Liverpool. Let me go
That
to
is
Manchester.
that is the that would yes that too.
Because if you had, I mean, I knew Sanchez was decent, but right now he looks like another player in Premier League. And, and to think if you had got, I mean, an Arsenal supporter told me he sees Sanchez as like the next Luis Suarez, pretty much
He
having
basically,
that South
he basically,
American impact in the
he
league.
basically is, honestly. He is.
And the goals he's scoring and the way he's creating them, he looks like the Suarez replacement that you guys should have got.
Yes. Um, I know that. Well, that whole thing comes down to basically apparently that his wife said his wife didn't want to live in Liverpool, and having visited London recently, I can understand how somebody who is not from that country would want to live.
Or continent.
Yeah, exactly. Would want to live. Wait, where's Sanchez from? Oh yeah, Chile.
Chile.
So yeah, would want to live in London. For a whole bunch of obvious reasons. So I mean, it's not the craziest thing in the world, and these people are human, and we forget that. The thing is, uh, it just seems so like Liverpool that they couldn't pull that off. Something that seems so seemingly obvious and easy.
A
It's
swap
like,
deal.
yeah, like it's like a swap deal.
We don't have enough of those in soccer, to be
You have
honest.
the leverage. You have the leverage. Um, you don't really have to sell Suarez. Alexis Sanchez wants to leave. You need Sanchez. Barcelona needs Suarez.
And he can spend less money.
And you would and the transfer committee already sucks at making big signings, honestly. So it's like you might as well get one. Like it was just so typical. I mean, but all right, just I guess to not lament over things that are gone and past. I mean, just talking about this whole season within the context of how Liverpool have been progressing. Without Suarez, all right. Well, the first thing is like we were talking about those signings, and then obviously, I mean, you already know which parts of them I've been happy with and which parts of them I've been unhappy with. So basically, Markovic, Moreno, I'm pretty cool with because those seem like
They're needed.
yeah,
Those are
exactly.
needed signings.
So Chan, whatever, yeah, Chan 10 million, Bayern Munich product. I like it. And he can play holding midfielder, and we haven't really bought one of those in a while. So I always knew that he was going to be good value.
And when
And
Gerrard
so
leaves, he's gonna have a bigger role next year. A real
exactly.
bigger
So
role.
Moreno, won a trophy in Europe, played for Sevilla. 22 years old. We needed a left back. I kind of wanted Ben Davies, but Ben Davies has done not done much to make me feel that jealous.
He doesn't have the
So
pace,
yeah,
Joseph.
exactly. Moreno, I mean that filled the need. Markovic, that was a bit pricey, but
That's
he only had
talent.
one season. He only had one season at Benfica, but that one season was at a big club. He played in Europe, a deep run in Europe.
Went to the Europe League final.
Yeah, and he physically he has the tools that he can fill out into a player, a big time player.
I just realized about Markovic. He also took himself out of the Europe League final.
What'd you say?
He took himself out of the Europe League final.
Why? Why was that? He got suspended or something?
Yeah, he got suspended. He had a fight, and then you look again. One of the previous games, he like threw his hand out, and you guys got a red card.
Yeah. The last game against Basel. Yeah, that's
so he has a little discipline. We're gonna keep track of that.
I mean,
but I think that you'll learn. He'll learn.
Yeah. But okay, so and then the Manquillo thing, I don't even know what to. I don't even know how to judge
that. Was
he's extra. It's an extra body, and it's a 2-year loan, so whatever.
You got to replace Glenn Johnson somehow.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. But I mean, basically, I think you know where we're getting at here. I mean, it's just
Klein. Daniel Klein, you guys should get.
No comment. No comment. No comment right now. Yeah, I guess you know where we're getting to. Where I'm getting to is that what we screwed up on is the biggest signings of the window, and it's the signing to complement Daniel Sturridge, which was Mario Balotelli. We screwed that up.
Yeah. Okay, I think more than Balotelli screwed it up.
Yeah. We screwed it up. We definitely screwed it up too. Because
I kind of agree because AC Milan celebrated when he left.
Yes, but that's not the part that had me a little shook. Because I remember if you remember, like the first time that we bought him. I mean, right after we bought Balotelli, I was pretty much happy because I thought about the fun factor.
The name.
Mario Balotelli. Yeah, I thought it was just gonna be funny.
Like, a following.
Yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, that's funny. This cool. I mean, this makes us pretty much more cool.
You bring in one biter for Balotelli and Suarez.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, yeah, this should be fun or whatever. He has talent, and and it seemed like he did okay at Milan. So I was like, all right, whatever. It took me one game to totally realize that I cannot stand him.
His position awareness.
Yeah, all of that was just terrible. I remember sending you the text like, Jesus Christ, what happened? What just happened?
Look at the game tape.
Yeah. I remember it took me one match and I was actually done with it. So yeah, they screwed that up because I mean, the fact that it got to that point where they had to take a gamble. Yeah, that got screwed up.
Does Rodgers have a say in like when you guys buy Balotelli?
I really don't know what type of say that Rodgers has, but honestly,
because he's been bad.
The whole transfer committee
last 2 years.
The whole transfer committee is just not good. But having said that, like I said, Chan, that's a very good find at that price.
So Lambert, I mean, you can't get mad for 4 mil, right? It's 4 mil, right?
I mean, that's what Lambert you get mad at in retrospect.
Yeah. Yeah, overall,
because that's the first striker, that's the first player that they got in.
Did you guys get him before Suarez left?
Yes.
So I'm thinking this way: suppose you guys kept Suarez and Lambert was that guy, where Suarez can create for Lambert.
But no.
I feel like he was bought for chemistry with, for like Luis Suarez and depth. And then when Suarez left, you just like left with Lambert, and now you gotta look for someone.
No.
Unless you fit. I have to look at the timeline correctly.
No. He did come in before Suarez got in. It's just hard to imagine.
I feel like he got bought to play with Suarez. Because you're already striker heavy. That's what I'm trying to say. You're striker heavy. You just need another body, and that's what he was, another body.
Yeah, another body. Another body, regardless. Another body more to make up the numbers than to complement somebody.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
That's what
Now you sell Suarez, and now you look at the fact like we just bought the striker. Now he has to put up. Yeah. And all of a sudden you're like, wait, I was just here to help fill out the squad.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It only looks bad in retrospect. But obviously the ones I disagree with the most are the two biggest signings because First off, Dejan Lovren at 20 million.
I
First
haven't
off,
seen him play in a long time.
first off, first there's a reason for that. I assure you. First off, the idea that Dejan Lovren was gonna come in at 20 million, riding on his horse, and be the guy who single-handedly fixes every single defensive issue that Liverpool had last season is one of the dumbest uh, premises I've ever heard for like why a signing is valuable. It is right up there with Stuart Downing being worth 20 million because he was gonna somehow put pinpoint crosses on Andy Carroll's head literally every single match.
Yeah.
Like those two things, and obviously the thing in common is that Liverpool made both of those signings.
You know why you guys signed him?
Because
He
why?
scored
Because
a goal last
year. Because he scored a header at Anfield, and
That's my theory. I have a feeling when players score on another team, the club gets notoriety of that player, and they eventually get bonded by that player. I've seen it with Sigurdsson, and I've seen it with Adebayor for my club.
I mean, the whole thing that's always cited is that Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, they obviously thought highly of him last season or whatever. But that's here's the thing. One season at 8th place Southampton behind two probably the best defensive midfield pairing in the league, right? Schneiderlin and Wanyama, the best defensive midfield pairing in the league.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Right?
Definitely. You see Wanyama doing
how does that warrant 20 million signing? And the idea that he's going to fix the defense when there was just a whole setup tailored to him succeeding is just it felt like an insulting thing, honestly. Not the signing itself, but the idea that Dejan Lovren, 20 million, that was the signing to fix Liverpool's defensive issues. First off, it was pretty much a conclusion that Liverpool's defensive issues was pretty much structural the way they were playing because they played reckless and they could afford to play reckless with Suarez and Sturridge. So that was pretty dumb. And secondly, it was one good season at Southampton after a couple seasons after being at Lyon where he was mediocre basically. I mean, I admittedly didn't watch him every match, but I mean, I remember
he went to Southampton like when it was a relegation bound club, pretty much.
Yes. So, well, to be fair, they had recovered because they had that half season with Pochettino.
Yo, last year was his first season.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah. So, and he had those 4 seasons at Lyon where he was, I mean, obviously a young defender, but I mean, Rory Smith basically said that Lyon was trying to go around Europe, trying to shop him around for a minute, and when they sold him to Southampton, they were like basically relieved because they finally found somebody to take this guy off their hands. So the whole thing, yeah, it seemed dumb before. It seems pretty dumb now, honestly, especially when you consider that Liverpool had already bought Mamadou Sakho for 16 million.
I like that. I mean, how do you feel about the sign right now? You feel like
Sakho?
Yeah,
I love Sakho.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that sign we had previous.
What is it not to like? Captain PSG, pretty young.
Yeah,
playing for club and country, pretty good with the ball. The only thing is that he looks awkward with it, but in actuality, he's not awkward with it at all. He just looks it. He just looks like it. And most importantly, I think it really sucks because, I mean, we have a pro like Daniel Agger with experience.
I understand how he just left like that.
Yeah, it just sucked, honestly.
Like, was his form really dipping that bad towards the end of the season?
No, of course not.
That's how I felt about that transfer.
Daniel Agger should be in this club right now.
I felt like once Agger said he was leaving and going back home, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, listen, it is
that bad.
It is a fact that most clubs in the Premier League ride off their players a bit too soon, except for Manchester United. Like Patrice Evra, Rio Ferdinand, and Nemanja Vidic. Like all of those. It feels
Frank Lampard.
No. Well, what I'm saying, like Manchester United defenders, it feels like they got written off like at the right
Okay.
time. Like their decline came, and
Oh, you told those
to
are
be fair,
okay.
the end of their demise came when Sir Alex Ferguson left, which I mean
You talk
says a
about
lot.
it when it works. Okay.
Yeah. So those are like those are reasonable. I mean, but like Chelsea let Didier Drogba go too early. They let Frank Lampard go too early. People were talking about John Terry being done, and then now look at him. He had a great season last year. Um, uh, yeah, it just seems like we write off players too early. I mean, people were saying before the season that Lucas was supposed to be done at Liverpool, not taking into account that he's like one of the few players on the squad who knows what it's like to go through a grueling season with Champions League fixtures and with a lot of matches due to cup being in a whole bunch of cup competitions. Like sometimes I just feel that experience is underrated, and we paid the price for. I mean, Liverpool paid for the price for it early in the season, and obviously the other thing is the Lallana signing. Like it just literally made no sense how you pay 25 million for Adam Lallana. Um,
I just want to get about your defense quick. I will
yeah,
say a good sign would have been Simon Shire from Lille. Last year, Lille had one of the best defensives in Europe and won't let in goals. And I feel like they had a great one of their center back partnership that actually was starting to really form something. So I saw a link today. He almost got West Ham almost bought him.
mm.
So I was pointing that out.
I do not yeah, that would have been worth looking at.
And it would have been
Um
cheap, a cheap punt, you know.
I liked honestly coming into the season I liked our center backs being Kolo Toure, Skirtle, Agger, Sacco. I liked those four. I liked those four. I liked how that looked. Um
Pretty much, you should never be spending 20 for a center back unless he's
yeah,
like.
exactly. Definitely.
Actually, I don't know when you should
It's
ever pay more than 20 for a center back.
no. There's two sides of the token here. If we're gonna put the devil's advocate argument, it's the fact that first off, in 2015 there are not that 2014, I guess,
The market
there,
is
the market for center backs like there's not that many good ones in the first
so
place.
United's
If you
having
think that
problems.
if you found a good one, you really want to get him. I guess you would say. But at the other on the other end of the token, on the other side of the coin, I should say, is that in 2014 there are not that many center backs. So why would you think there is one that's worth 20 million? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, just a very dumb signing, honestly, to me.
And people are saying, I'm hearing, people talk about Matt Summels. Every rumor.
Yeah, let's not. I
And
mean, I don't even want to talk about that. That is getting. See, now that is getting to a disgusting level.
well,
Cause like,
what do you say?
I mean, Mitch not about to pay 50 million for
Oh
Matt.
yeah. So, but pretty much what I'm hearing though is Onyx Stein said he actually might just be another David Luiz. He's not really known for defending per se. It might just be Klopp's system, and that he just gets all this attention because he just scores goals as a defender, and he likes to go out and make plays.
Yeah, if
And in the
Honigstein said
Premier
it,
League, you're gonna get gunned for that because you got to play defense first.
yeah, if Honigstein said it, I'm pretty much with it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't watched
So
that much of
it's a set
Dortmund.
of that campaign right there.
I haven't watched that much of Dortmund this season, honestly.
You're not missing much.
Yeah, I know
You don't know what a
they're
point
bottom
is.
right now, which is crazy. But yeah,
I mean, that's a good chance to get Royce if you want some goals. Well, not, no more attacking wingers for you guys. Too much.
yeah.
Mhm.
No, actually, I kind of want Royce.
I'm, I mean, obviously, of course, quality is quality.
Yeah, of course.
But you got Coutinho. They didn't. They have. Well, we're gonna get to Lalana
Yeah,
right
but I
now.
mean, Lalani is pretty useless to me.
You
He's pretty. No,
have Sterling. I feel like
no.
Sterling will kill
No,
Royce.
at,
Royce will
at,
kill Sterling.
Duels. I am being totally serious with you and not even trying to make a joke right here. I I genuinely think Lalana is. I'm not gonna say useless. That's a stupid thing.
I'm gonna say product of the system
I'm gonna
from
say
last year. Yeah.
totally not suited to a team that likes to play at a blistering fast pace, which
I mean,
Liverpool did last season.
yeah, he likes to play his
Southampton
He
played
likes his techers.
his. I think his impact on the overall outcome of the game is so limited. Like Liverpool last season was unapologetically pragmatic, where they just got the goals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
And Lallana is like one of the play. Like he's like it's like watching art because the intricacies in his game is kind of beautiful, and it's almost made more beautiful because of how limited he is physically. He's not the fastest. He's probably the slowest. He's probably the slowest attacker I've ever seen.
So it's all about his mind, like his deception.
His technique, the way
Yeah.
he turns on the ball, that's all beautiful. But the thing is that when you're trying to play at a top level, and you bought a player for 25 million, and he's literally useless on the through ball, like, and he has no separation speed.
That's where Moreno
That
covers against,
that
but yeah.
that basically undermines your whole the whole point or the whole idea of buying a big player to come in at a time during which you lost your biggest player, which was obviously Luis Suarez. I mean, honestly, that signing Lallana for me personally is right up there with signing Andy Carroll.
You know, I agree because if you think about it,
In terms of just how much sense it did not make.
out of fit. No, I agree because if you look at it, once the counter attack starts, transition offense starts, Sterling's gone, Moreno's gone, Coutinho's gone,
Coutinho's gone, and
Sterling's
he's
gone.
not. Coutinho's not the fastest, but he can't be at this point. He can't be tackled. Like
Yeah,
he just drifts around players at this point.
and pretty much everyone's. I mean, even Henderson is gone because Henderson is going to be everywhere.
Exactly.
And you're going to see Lallana's going to be tracking that. And whenever your fullback overlaps you in the counter, it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah. So needless to say, I hated that signing from the beginning, and honestly, I haven't seen anything to make me think that like that it was the right decision. Like I just don't understand how you come out of a season. And the thing is, I like him as a player, but I hate the signing so much.
I hate the financial side of it. I'm like,
Even if we bought him
but
even if we bought him at 12 million, I mean, obviously it would have been easier to take, but it would have just still
no, I would take it, but 20 million.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, you have Pochettino who's managed him, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's what Pochettino does. I think he's like a Klopp type of manager where he just
I don't know.
upbrings the talent.
I don't know, but he
And I think Coleman is doing that at Southampton. I mean, Dusan Tadic and that CDM pairing defensive midfield pairing looks great. And actually, they don't have Southampton actually don't have to be doing it there, but
Jules.
yeah.
Your sound is kind of off a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where we left off?
But yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, just not a big fan of Lallana, honestly. Just not a big fan of the Lallana signing and the way it happened. Just not a big fan at all. Now all of that being said, because we spent entirely way too much time talking about the signings. I think the interesting thing about Liverpool season, and obviously this is gonna be the last point because we just don't have enough time to talk about anything else, but I think the interesting thing about Liverpool season is that it's really been, honestly, as a fan, it's been really fascinating to watch it. Like I've almost been watching it like half as a fan and half as a interested third party neutral. Yeah. Because I'm fascinated by this whole progression of Brendan Rodgers Liverpool.
How do you feel about Brendan Rodgers right now? Well, last year he looked good.
Yeah, well,
first year you actually liked him the first year because you knew it was all about.
Yeah. I loved him the first year.
The second year, you're like, what? You were confused what happened because he changed his style.
No. First year, First year, I was in heaven. Actually, I've never enjoyed watching a team lose so much in my life. Like
You love
in my
those
history of
underdogs.
in my history of watching sports, I never enjoyed watching a team lose so much. Because I was like, wow, this is amazing. I was like, that was Suso when he was 18 years old. Raheem Sterling was 17. Andre Wisdom was like, I was like, wow, this is this. I mean, um, yeah. I mean, before I tell you say what I think about Rodgers, I mean, the funny thing is just it's hilarious how much of an open season it was on him while Liverpool was going through that bad stretch. Like people just like indulged in just trashing him during that time. I remember I was talking to you one time and you were like at one point you were just like he's just a
Finish it on.
no yeah you were like he's just a bad human being.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is he is kind of I feel as though he is kind of a dick.
You know, he's with Chinese. He has he left his current wife for upgraded
Yeah. That's a
technically.
very
He
scumbag thing
drives
to
like a
do.
Ferrari.
Yeah, that's a very
He sounds like a
the
diva.
wife thing is the thing that gets to me. Like, come on.
He's like,
Um,
I'm bigger than everyone now. I'm Liverpool
yeah,
coach, and
that's
I'm
kind of
winning everything.
yeah. That sucks that happened. Anyway, no. All jokes aside, though. I think that if there's any like, I think if anything, if there's anything we've learned about Rodgers this season is that it's the obvious, which people could forget, is that he's a young manager.
Yeah,
Um, and like just like a young player, where you can see just how much talent they are, and that's the one thing that impresses you the most, and the thing that turns you off the most is how they lack awareness, how they lack in-game intelligence, how they lack just little ways to be clever around the game, and it's kind of the same way with Rodgers. So basically, I mean, Rodgers as a guy who can get a team playing attacking football, he is amazing, honestly. Um, and it's tactically, tactically, he can, given enough time, he can like he can when he gets a team rolling. Um, it just looks sensational.
yeah. I think he's a great
Um,
coach.
yeah. I think he's a great coach. But here's the thing: he basically sucks at literally everything else.
Like his
I
coaching is amazing. Like what he made Henderson, what he made Suarez, what he made Sterling, even
That's what I'm saying.
even
That's what I'm
Coutinho.
saying. See,
He
this is the
makes players.
now, and that's the reason why I'm willing to accept him the way he is, because he has the amazing talent and he's 40 whatever 2 years old. Like, he's very young. Everything else can be developed. But that being said, everything else really needs to be developed. Like, he is actually so terrible at his rotations and substitutions that
No,
it's
yeah,
almost unbelievable literally every single game.
like
Like
Gerrard should be playing every company.
like yeah, Gerard, he's just starting to manage Gerard in a sensible way. And I mean,
And now Gerrard's out. Like,
and yeah, exactly. Now Gerard's out. Like, under a smarter manager, Gerard would not have to leave to go to LA Galaxy.
that's
Like
another
like
opportunity.
Gerard should essentially be playing Tim Duncan minutes.
Yes, and
Where
that's it's
if you have a smarter manager, you'd have somebody picking their spots, when to use them, when to not use them, be able to communicate that with him, that
It would be funny if Gerrard goes from that. Well, if he had went from that to NYCFC and then City for Alonso.
so you and
But
play
I don't think he has a stomach for it. But then again, you think Frank Lampard did it, and Frank Lampard. But then again, Frank Lampard played for West Ham. And Gerrard
nah
is 100% Liverpool.
yeah um plus I don't need to I don't need to see that happen.
The truth is, though, I think kind of. I know you love Gerrard, but I know deep down you're like you kind of accept the fact that with Gerrard going, because the way that he didn't really, he started to not really fit Rodgers' system. You understand what I'm saying?
He started to not fit Rodgers' system because Rodgers tried to play him in the same position
The,
despite
the,
not having the very players that allowed him to play as a deep lying midfielder last year. So what I'm
Okay,
saying
okay.
is that basically Luis Suarez and Daniel Sturridge keeps the pressures on the opposing team so much that, I mean, think about like West Ham. They put Stuart Downing on Gerrard. I mean, you're only able to do that when Gerrard is pondering who to give the ball to,
Yeah.
who the outball is to, and that's a very hard decision when Suarez and Sturridge are not playing. Um, yeah, so it was clear that yeah, basically Gerard Rogers didn't manage Gerard the best this year.
Okay, so I
Um,
have a question. Is Rogers, is he in range of the sack? Or no? You don't think so?
nah, not at all.
Okay.
Um, yo, when he was doing his worst, I was just sitting back like, I was, it, I mean, I was one of the least worried about his job because first off, it's FSG. It's not like it's Roman Abramovich. Like it's not like it's some like. Have you noticed that all the American owners of clubs don't fire their managers?
It's true. You look at Arsenal,
Randy Lerner,
United.
Aston Villa,
Yeah, still have Lambert.
David Moyes. Okay, David, that was United had no choice.
The press ousted Moyes.
Yeah. But
It, it,
United had no choice, and honestly, he shouldn't have been hired in the first place. So,
yeah.
um, yeah, Arsenal is like a special situation. I mean, but I guess Randy Lerner is the one that makes the point the most, where it's just like,
Stick with your man.
yeah, you usually just stick with it. If in
And
American
Aston
sports,
Villa are about to be ousted.
yo,
Right there now.
in American sports, you usually just stick with your manager unless the worst case scenario is reached. And
Yeah.
it's like, and it's like even then you wait till the end of the season, you know. So I thought the worst case scenario was that we'd get to the end of the season and he'd get fired, which yeah, which would be sad because, like I said, he's a young manager. He has to learn. Like he's gonna have to learn how to properly rotate somehow. Like,
Not
and
right there.
he's gonna have to learn how to. I mean, I would imagine that he's never gonna go into a window where he allows him,
Can he get
where
an assistant help with that or something? But he has final say in the end.
I don't know, but it's really really bad. Like, I'm not exaggerating when I say it is really really bad.
So you add that to the fact of, do you think this transfer committee can cost his job in the long run? If they keep being foolish.
I mean,
I mean, you have to get a. I, I mean, I can't even blame him because Sturridge was injured and voluntarily flopped, I guess.
hmm
But then again, the Lovren signing, you needed a. I guess you needed some type of body at center back, and once you finally fix your. I mean, you might fix your whole midfield situation by the end of the summer. To be honest.
well, the thing is, apparently, all the signings that are quote unquote his are not good.
But Mike,
So
what
his eye for a player has always been suspect to me, honestly.
like Joe Allen was supposed to be the second coming, and
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like Joe Allen because
he played the
he
Barca style of
yeah
play.
yeah this will take a whole separate podcast to go through. Honestly, I mean
Yeah.
basically the whole thing is that, I mean, if you want to talk about Liverpool season as a whole, basically,
But just the window ended. You guys could have,
yeah.
who were you guys close to? I mean, Danny Ings.
Jesus, see, that's the thing. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Why are we talking about Danny Ings? And it's 2015, and we're talking about Danny Ings.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
We're talking about Danny Ings. Never mind the fact that you could already make an argument that he is not the type of quality player that we should be looking for.
no, he's not he's not the striker to fix the strike force.
Yes, but here's the thing.
He's not to solve it. I mean,
The type of deal that they were describing with buying Danny Ings and then having him back on loan
it wasn't
at
legal.
Burnley. First off, it wasn't legal, which basically just shows you the competency of the defensive committee, right?
I was laughing.
Secondly, we already have a 19-year-old striker coming in the summer in Divock Origi. Why would you have both of them?
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, it does make sense. Though I will say Danny Ings, I kind of like what I've seen from him so far this year. Why not?
He's a supplemental striker.
Why not?
He's kind of like a Lambert,
Yeah.
but a little better.
I just can't. But yeah, so his based on what the signings that have been attributed to him,
And
the
who's the other
signing for
signing you guys were linked to, or some player?
no, I don't know. I think him on Danny Ings is the only one that actually like came up to the point where it's like it was worth a tweet. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like it was worth a tweet from credible journalists. That's when I was done. I lost it on Twitter honestly last week. I lost it when Tony Barrett tweeted that Danny Ings was
Mm-hmm.
that Liverpool was looking into Danny Ings. I lost it, bro.
But Bernie didn't want to sell it all cost.
Yeah,
But now you hear some. But
yeah.
so what was the most blasphemous signing you think you heard
Um,
that Liverpool could have got or sell? There wasn't anything crazy.
the worst the worst deal since Rodgers came in.
No, I'm talking about this January window. Like, was there any crazy rumor like this can't happen?
Oh,
I know for mine, I'll tell you mine right away. Off the back is the rumor was Arsenal is going to sign Hugo Lloris.
well, see, you go deep into the rumor mill. Like you go deep, like real deep.
But
Like
you know the Metro, they always say some like
yeah, see, that's the problem. I don't look at
if you want to look for some satire, just go to the Metro.
exactly. I don't go that deep. You had knee deep into all of it. Like you have you always have your ear to that street. I sit
I'm
back.
asking because I really didn't hear anything of Liverpool. That's why I was like,
Yeah. No, I didn't hear that much either, honestly.
But do you agree? You think Nathaniel Klein would be a decent signing for you guys?
Uh,
I don't think Southampton would sell probably
yes, but I hope we don't buy him, honestly.
because that'd be the you can't buy him. You can't buy another person.
First off, John Flanagan still exists.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about him the other day.
He held his own in like a title challenge. And he's pretty young himself. And I mean, we were just talking about how sometimes clubs overbuy. Like,
He's a right back,
yeah,
so he should be playing over Johnson.
yeah. But the thing is, he's been injured literally all season.
Oh, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
That's why you play 3-5-2.
Yeah, we talked about this whole thing and we didn't even get to talk about Liverpool on the pitch. Let's just put it like this. I like what I'm gonna just close here because we just don't have that much time. I mean,
Sturridge is back. You guys scored.
yeah, no, Serge is back. That's cool. I have my doubts about the idea of him just coming back and then playing every single game, especially when we're gonna have midweek fixtures with the Europa League, with the FA Cup replay this week, with Premier League midweek fixtures. That he's just gonna come in, and that he's gonna play every week, and then we're gonna be fine. I'm doubtful about that. And I feel as though we've Liverpool's just had this amazing run, and still they're 5 points out of top four.
No, before you guys were like at the bottom half of the table.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Months back, and now
Came a
like
long way. I mean, but there's
now you guys behind me.
there's a tough stretch coming up. Should be Everton though. Should be Everton.
Everton have fought. Like, we'll talk about them later. Everton.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring up because Sturridge pretty much saying, he's gonna try to revive Balotelli. They'll try to get chemistry going.
Oh yeah. That's the one thing. That's the one thing. As much as I don't like Balotelli and I hate how much his demeanor and the way he sulks about the pitch, the funny thing is that even with an underwhelming performance in his debut against Tottenham, how he looked with Daniel Sturridge, it just looked like how he's supposed to play. Like, it's kind of sad, I will admit, it's kind of sad that he can't show some professionalism and adapt to any of the other styles we tried during the season. But that being said, it does look like he was in his natural habitat when he was playing a diamond formation and two up front with Daniel Sturridge. Like,
yeah.
So hopefully that happens. Hopefully.
Because I was gonna bring up this funny part. It reminds me of when Mata came to Chelsea, said he was gonna revive Torres, and then and you know how that
went. Yo, oh man, that's funny. Good one. You set me up like you were gonna actually say something encouraging about Liverpool, and I was like, yeah. Yeah, that's funny. You got any final thoughts? This was a very top heavy podcast where we just talked about basically the top seven
I
of the
mean, the
season.
final thoughts are probably just quick. Is you think
Oh,
Southampton are Southampton for real?
um,
I mean, they have the style of play down. They have somewhat of it.
Sunderland's for real. Did they lose in the FA Cup yet? They did, right?
They did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
should.
did. They did. They did.
Yeah, they're probably pretty real, honestly. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never had problems with them, to be honest. I mean, I talk about when you go head to head with against Tottenham.
Oh,
They're
um,
gliding through the table. They're gliding, and their style of play is awesome. I'm very envious of what I'm seeing from them.
yeah. I mean, unfortunately, they have a no. Actually, you know what? They don't have a legitimate chance because you know why? Arsenal is just gonna go on a run. Honestly,
No, because Arsenal's talent is built because they had so many injuries that no one's really seen the real Arsenal.
yeah,
I think, and their talent is building up. They have
yeah,
Ozil, Walcott.
yeah.
They just keep.
But overall, I'm pretty happy from what I've seen from them. At the moment, I think they're more likely to run Manchester United out of the top four than Arsenal, but we'll see.
Mhm.
Um, one thing I want to say is that West Ham is they've basically they've basically West Ham have basically sabotaged themselves. I mean, Sam Allardyce, it seems like, has sabotaged himself. And I'm gonna admittedly talk about this with like not the full amount of knowledge I need to talk about it, but when West Ham had that quick start, I was I I
I mean, to me, I was like the strikers they brought in.
yeah, no, they had some good signings, but the thing was, I was always worried when Andy Carroll got fit, and then when Kevin Nolan got fit, and then that it would.
When they bring in the real West Ham
Yeah, when,
players.
when they bring in the West Ham players, it
Will
would
the real
damage.
West Ham please stand up?
It would undermine like the progress that they made and the transition that made to actually being like a real footballing team. And um, I hadn't been watching them enough lately to like say that definitively, but I was listening to the Anfield Rap podcast. I mean, and they had a West Ham fan on, and he basically said the same thing, where it's like he said that Kevin Nolan, he didn't say so much for Andy Carroll. I mean, even though I think Andy Carroll's a terrible football player, um, he basically said Kevin Nolan has no business being in the starting 11, but and Mark Noble that has no business being there either for that matter. Um, but Allardyce continues to put them there because they're one of the senior pros and all that stuff, and that's a real sad thing because West Ham has something good going, and Stuart Downing at the tip of the diamond was kind of fun to watch,
But
honestly.
they were playing good football. They were doing well.
Yeah, they
I
were
was
they were doing
hoping
real good.
they usually just played stale football, and now they were playing skillful
Yeah,
football.
yeah, and Kevin Nolan was terrible at Anfield, so
I think one of their big strikers got injured though. Because you're saying Andy Carroll's back in. I think
Saka.
yeah, Saka. I think he was right. He was awesome.
Yeah, I forgot where, when, or what match it was, but Carlton Cole. The fact that Carlton Cole is still at West Ham is
Oh, they were
hilarious to
trying to
me.
ship him today. That was big in the rumors.
I remember Roy Hodgson tried to bring him to Liverpool at one point, and
Yo, I remember a Twitter fan like just exposed him and Carlos Cole to shut him up.
yeah, that was gonna be too much. Anyway,
One more thing.
yeah, what's
Um,
up?
I was gonna say how did I forgot his name? Oh, Alan Party was that dude. That's
Oh yeah. Alan
he's
Pardew.
he's that guy.
Yeah, Alan Alan Pardew. Love, yeah, the man. Honestly, yeah,
And Andrew Castle just looks so funny to me with
yeah. I don't even want.
Harvard.
I don't even want to discuss them. All right. Anyway,
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
yo, duels. We talked about a lot.
Yeah, I think we got a lot covered for the top half. I
No, we talked about a lot, like a lot.
think we hit almost every team pretty decently.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. I mean, we probably should just be talking about Tottenham and Arsenal. Um, on Thursday,
So it'll be
And
Arsenal heavy, and I'll be rebuttaling pretty much, and we'll talk
yeah,
about top four prospects because Liverpool. I'll be
yeah,
this
yeah,
Liverpool.
yeah. We'll talk all that good stuff, and um, yeah. I mean, maybe even a little bit of European football. Who knows? Oh, and preview the Europa League because that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and
All right.
Carling Cup maybe, right? Can't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. All of that. Anyway, Dose, I'll see you, bro.
Yep, episode one. It's in the books.
All right. Yo, you you uh this nigga Kev, what's good with this? What's good with him?
I don't know, man. Well, we basically set him up for Thursday's podcast. We talked about him. Well, we mentioned him.
Oh, you went.
We didn't mention. So as I suppose we get it. Like I brushed it. So now we have to preview this game.
That's funny.
You know what I'm saying? Now we have to. And he has to go.
Yeah. All right, yo. So I have to stop this broadcast so I can get the link to it. So I'll see you, bro.
Oh yeah, man.
Uh,
Okay, yeah. I mean,